why I am so against the Chernobyl method. Because I still think that there is a possibility to get control. I mean, what do you call control of this? I think they still have possibility to do some stuff and get the radiation down. But in the meantime, the radiation pollution is going on. I have been trying to find a metaphor to explain what I think about the Chernobyl method. I have two here. Think of that you have a pot on a stove, and it's full of water, and it's boiling. The steam is going up, and imagine that is the radiation. You think it is enough to put a lid on the pot. Doesn't do anything more. I mean, it's bubbling on, and the steam is going off, and it's even possible that the lid would just bloop, go off, and then also there is a possibility when the water is all gone, we have still heat in this all, and the pot itself would get damaged. As I say, I'm trying to get some to explain this in simple terms. Also, I have thought about if you're cleaning your room and you just sweep the dust under your carpet, you aren't really cleaning the room. The dust will come back out, and yeah. I mean, as I say, this is the reason I am totally against the Chernobyl method, except everything is so fucked up that I'm sorry to use this, that there's no possible way to control anything. For the first days after the explosion, they had limited power, they have limited numbers of people, they had limited numbers of spraying pumps or something like that. So I think the situation was that they were always looking at what reactor or fuel pool was in the worst situation. There was pumping in this reactor, and then they said, okay, this is getting worse, so they had to move to that one. It was not until the fire trucks and the firemen from Tokyo came that they had enough of people and equipment to deal with all of the reactors. Also about the seawater, they're changing now into fresh water. Where they are getting the fresh water, I don't know, and I really want to know that. About this number, I mean, 1,000 times over normal level, 1,600 times. I have a video here, check this out. Do you really think that the reporter knows what she is talking about? Also, I'm going to explain a little more. You have heard 10,000 times more, 100 times more, and 10 million times more. Check this out.
Officials say the radiation level in contaminated water at the number 2 reactor is, get this, 10 million times higher than normal.
The radiation level is 10 million times more than normal.
Radioactivity in one of Japan's Fukushima plants is 10 million times the normal level.
The water contains 10 million times the usual level of radioactivity inside the operating nuclear reactor.
The first time I heard this 10 million times over the normal level number was from a guy that I was debating on YouTube about the Chernobyl method. He was in the United States, and he wanted to use the Chernobyl method because he thought that they would stop all the radiation leak if they would do that. I was trying to tell him that they would not stop all the radiation leak. and there would be possible of full meltdown in all of the reactors if they would do that. He said to me that he had heard it on the radio, and I just thought, whoa, stupid guy in American radio that had seen 10,000 times more and said, oh yeah, the radiation is 10 million times more. And I wrote to him, and I'm going to read what I wrote to him. First of all, the radiation level is 10,000 times more than normal level. They had given that up. It in itself is crazy high. It's lethal. If the radiation would be 10 million times more than normal in Japan, you would probably be dead in the United States. And I would be getting really sick here in Iceland. I really want to know if the guy really said 10 million times on the radio. My point is here, as you can see from the news clips and the news, this was reported all over the world, and they even talked to experts, nuclear experts on this thing, and nobody came and said, stop, this can't be true. They said they had taken samples and detected it. Nobody said there's something wrong in this, with this number. So my point is, this just showed me that people do not understand what radiation is. Just think about it for a minute. Also about this number, 1,000 times more or 10,000 times more than normal level. The normal level of those materials are very different. So a material that has 1,000 times more and another that has 1,000 times more and 10,000 more, that one that has 10,000 more, it's maybe less of that than the one that has 1,000 times more. What is inside the turbine buildings, the long buildings that are closer to the sea from the reactor buildings? We have the turbines themselves. There are probably at least 2, maybe more, for each reactor. We have the cooling for the steam that is going through the turbines. We have the generators, the diesel emergency diesel generators. Here's a picture of one that I think is similar as is in Fukushima. We have the control rooms for each reactor. These generators are in the basement, and when the tsunami came, that got flooded. So of course the engine just kaboom. I've also heard that crankcase in those generators are not good. So I have heard, I have not confirmed news about this, but I've heard that people are afraid that it was not only the tsunami that damaged the generators. We know that Americans have been helping in this effort. They have been bringing tools, they have been flying planes over, taking photographs, and they are bringing a big raft that I'm not sure if it contains a lot of clean fresh water, or if it is cleaning the seawater, or how exactly that works, but they are bringing it, and so the Americans are helping. The French President Sarkozy went to Tokyo and offered all the help that they could offer, and I would think that all countries that really could help in some way should do this. This situation is not something that will only affect Japan. This will affect the whole earth if nothing is done. All photos that you have seen of how the radiation cloud is coming from Japan, Fukushima, and is going over the sea and maybe over United States. All those photos are computer generated. They can't see, as far as I know, they can't see the radiation with satellite photos. So what they are doing, they can see how the clouds are and how the weather is, and then they use computers to calculate the weather. And that's the weather forecast that we get. And to know that the weather is never exactly like the weather forecast was the day before. So what they are doing, they are estimated how much radiation is coming from Fukushima. They are putting it into a computer, and they have the data for the weather, and they are estimating how the radiation cloud will go over. About nuclear accidents, there are a lot of them all around the world, and just check out this video here. League Spinner found an article about nuclear accidents that only happened in Japan from only 1995. Check it out. About the workers, I got information last week or something like that all the workers, the rescue workers, have their own Geiger counters here on the chest. I got a report today that that's not true. TEPCO is not letting all the workers get Geiger counters. Also, I saw that at least the army had what's called they have let a prawn, something like the doctors have when they take X-rays pictures of you, but this was much bigger. It was like a vest they had, and also it was around the neck. It's to prevent the damage of bone marrow and stuff like that in your body. But then we are getting pictures from inside the power plant, and we are seeing that there are very few workers that has this. About the workers at Fukushima, I really want that people respect them, and I want to call them the Fukushima brave. There's so many people there. We are going to see people coming there very sick, and I really want all their names. I want pictures of them all. I even want the names of their families, because they're not only sacrificing themselves into this, their families are sacrificing a person out of the family. So those are not only heroes for Japan, those are heroes for the whole earth. I'm still very surprised on the media, the news media, how little information people are getting. And I mean it's absurd that people, I mean, like me and league spinners, we are in fact reporting more than those big news outlets. And this is one of the biggest nuclear accidents in history.